Hello, this is Kurt Wallner. Today we're going to take what we've been able to do of the overview idea, slicing the White House into slices and then separating the slices so that you can see between them. And we've got our little cartoon here going, and now we need to take this off to the blow-up place to make a 200% enlargement and see what that gets us. Okay, now we're back from the blow-up place with 200% enlargement on my cartoon. And now we put another sheet of paper on top of the gauge, light it up from underneath, and see how this goes. Although this is the same height as my other drawings except twice as wide, I'm hoping that I can work at this size, but you can see that it doesn't really leave me with a whole lot of room for detail. The base of the columns and the cracks between the blocks and the lower part of the floor. I don't know. I think I might have to go up to 300%, but that means a much larger piece that I'm going to have to work on. But that is the mystery of the overview. Okay, so here is the blow up at 300%, and it's kind of big. I wonder how I'm going to handle all of this material. It's just a matter of sliding it back and forth and curling it up, but this looks like plenty of room to work with, so I like this a lot. Oh yeah, no, I can tell right away that this is going to be the size to work at. That is much better. You can see that there's just so much more room to work on. I don't really want to work this large, but I have to give myself a fighting chance to get all the detail in. And if you compare the 300% version against the 200% version, you can see that there is a great deal of difference. This is especially critical when we're working on my trademark obsessive-compulsive rendering of the doors and windows, in this case around the blue room in the south portico. When things get to the point where we are doing the next room in the line, which is the diplomatic reception room, we have to imagine what these rooms look like when they're cut apart. And so it's my process to draw the room in perspective separately on another sheet of paper and then trace what is pertinent in this particular thing. Got an elaborate carpet, and that's just about the only thing that's going to show. So while I spent the last chapter, chapter 8, on planning the overview, talking, it's a non-stop talk festival. I'm going to just draw here. I'm going to get this first section done and then move on to a couple of other little intriguing things that were worth noting. One of the things that's been really challenging about this project is because I'm looking into almost every room in the White House. I have to learn about every room in the White House, and this is causing me to... It's taking longer than I ever thought that it would, because I have to go online and find rooms of, like the hair salon and try and figure that out, and it just takes forever because there's so many rooms. But I'm committed to trying to make this the most fulsome look at the White House that's ever been done. Section has turned out nice, and just keep on adding more sections and more slices, and you keep doing that and you pile them in, and then you come up to the stuff that you can't find photographs of. And this happened to me in both the East Wing and in the West Wing. It has to do with these corners where the cherry trees are. They're not cherry trees, they're magnolia trees that bloom early. They are almost always in leafy condition, and most of the photographs obscure these balustrades that are on top. This corner in the East Wing these shots are too far away and they're overexposed, and I can't tell what's going on. And it's maddening, so I had to really do a deep dish study into what those things are, despite the fact that I had no real good photographs to work from. When I find myself in situations like this, I have to go online and find every picture possible of the area and scrutinize it over and over and over again in order to figure out just what is going on here. I have to get to the bottom of it. That especially holds true for this corner on the East Wing, which with its overexposed photos that I can't tell what's going on. It's a fandango of architectural terms of columns and pilasters and entablatures and balustrades and whatnot. And I really had to look at this very closely and figure out, just on the basis of like what I know about architecture, that this is probably how it goes. And I just have to let it go at that. Another area where this is of consuming interest is that underneath the West Wing there is the Situation Room. Everybody has heard of the Situation Room, but where is it really? Well, it's underground in front of the West Wing. And piecing this room together, look at various photos of it, and the way that I do it is that I look for some kind of regular system, and for this room that became the suspended ceiling. It's 2-foot squares, and I look at the pictures and I just make a composite reflected diagram of what the ceiling is, and then that tells me where the walls are, and then that goes from there. And it's been very interesting to put this together. So the overall overview is now all penciled in, and it's pretty ambitious, and we are going to have to spend a lot of time inking this in, which is what we're going to be doing during our next chapter. Inking in the mystery of the overview. If you're enjoying these videos, please subscribe to the channel if you would. Thank you for your attention. Until next time, bye-bye.